everybody, welcome to a Facebook Live with Jeannie. I am Jeannie Nielsen, the Card Lady, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. Did you miss me last week? I went to Montreal. I was up there for a Stampin' Up on Stage. It was our regional Stampin' Up on Stage because the real on stage happened in Vienna, and I just couldn't swing that this time. But boy, would I have loved to have gone there. But last week, I went to Montreal, and I got to walk the stage twice. That was very exciting. I walked once for my 200,000. That was a little scary because I think there were 8 $100,000 sales earners, and then there was one $200,000 sales earner, me, and then there were 2 $700,000 sales earners. So there weren't many that walked the stage, so I really got the spotlight, especially being all by myself. Somebody said that Celine, when she walks the stage, does not stop if she doesn't have somebody's hand to hold, and I had nobody. So I kind of grabbed onto Dave Baugh, who is I think he's a global manager, or global VP for Stampin' Up. He was our MC, would you say, for the event, and I just kind of stuck to him and stopped next to him so that I could get a picture. And then I got to walk the stage for earning the trip. Thank you to all of you. Hi, Cindy, welcome. I'm very excited about tonight's Facebook Live. But anyway, so I was walking the stage for being one of 380 trip earners, and that honestly was just unbelievable because of all of you. But anyway, so I was kind of racking my brain. What am I going to share with you guys tonight? And I have all kinds of things next to me, and we are going to see if I have everything that I need to create this project. But I think, okay, so next week is Thanksgiving. What would we do for Thanksgiving? Either we are hosting or we are going to somebody's house, and we would love to bring a hostess gift. So I found a quick and easy, quick hostess gift that you can give to somebody, and I'm so excited. I made one, and I'm going to recreate that one tonight, and then I made 2 more for Christmas that you can use, and these whipped up so quick and easy that if you wanted to do it for craft fairs, you could, but if you're going to somebody's house for Christmas or New Year's, it is so easy to just switch out the colors, switch out the paper. So I'm so excited about this. So I said I was going to think outside the box, or the bottle. So what we are going to do today, I've got this beautiful bottle of wine. Not sure if it's going to make it to Thanksgiving, seriously. I've got quite the hectic schedule at work. I have 4 more shifts until I am done with my night shift schedule, and I go to the clinic and the days. Anyway, so Thanksgiving happens before then, and who knows if we will go to somebody's house or if we will host. Right now, I've got a big turkey in the freezer. Yep, I do frozen turkeys. I don't like the fresh ones. They taste too gamey. But I don't know. How about you guys? Are you going anywhere for Thanksgiving? Are you staying home? Are you traveling? They said so many people are traveling more than 50 miles for Thanksgiving. If I was to go anywhere, it would probably be up the street to a neighbor, and it would probably be less than a quarter mile. So not getting in a car, except to go to work the night before. Okay, so I said that we are going to make a wine tag. This tag is so easy. I whipped up 3 of them in about an hour and a half, and only because I didn't have a plan and I was just kind of having fun with it. But do you want to see the projects? So this is the one we're going to make. I used the Harvest paper, and look at how pretty it is. And I used the cottage wreath die and stamp. I embossed it. When I flip down, you'll see it better, and you'll see it hopefully not backwards. Hopefully I got this right. Who knows? I did some Wink of Stella on the tag. This tag is super easy, so stay with me and we're going to make it, and probably we're going to be done in 20 minutes. And then I will share the other 2 tags I have for you. One is a cute Christmas tag, and the other one is a little bit more for the avid stamper. Okay, so let's see if I can flip down. Let's see. Yes, I think we're going to be able to. So I am going narrow. I'm not going wide, but we are going to flip down, and you are going to, don't get dizzy. Here we go. I'm upside down, and here is my area. Let's go like that. So what? Let's put it like this. Okay. That's my store, stampingwithjeannie.stampinup.net. So if you love any of these projects, I'm going to tell you how to get these dies or stamps or whatever. Right now, the annual sale is going on. Great time to get some stamps and dies and punches, etc. great time. This is only from the annual catalog, but we also know that December 1st, the last chance list is coming out for the mini catalog. So if you guys don't have what you want, it's kind of a while supplies last. In my email this week, I posted the list so that you would have it and you'd see what's going. One of the things that's going is the Celebrate Tags dies and stamp set, and that's how we made this cute, adorable tag. Now this is so easy. Wait until you see how easy this is. I've done a little prep work ahead, but most of the work we are going to do right here, right now. So it flips open, and I use the to and from, which is the stamp that matches this bundle. There are so many cute dies in here. Let me show you these dies. There is a long pocket die. Look at how cool that is. These sides, you'd put tear and tape on it and flip it over. Actually, I'd probably put tear and tape on the back and then fold them in so that my seams would be hidden. But you could put it on the outside if you wanted to. So that's one of them. You've got different things. You've got candles, birthday candles. You've got a banner. You've got a balloon. You've got a snowflake. You've got hearts. You've got mittens. Oh my goodness, so many things. And then of course the tag that we are using for this one. So this is one of the big tags. There's one more. There's a nice stitched rectangle here, and I love these two banners here. These, I'm going to put this back in here. It doesn't quite, it's because it's a bigger, longer die, it doesn't quite fit in my case, but it matches this stamp set, Celebrate with Tags. So the bundle is $55.75. It's in the mini catalog. It is going though. I promise you it's not going to be in next year's catalog. It's not one of the carryover items. So lots of things that you can stamp. I stamped, like I said, the to from. I don't think I was going to stamp for a birthday one, Let's Celebrate You, but I wanted this to be either for Christmas or a birthday. One of the cute tags that I'm going to show you. So, okay, let's flip down, see if I've got everything here to do this. This is always a project. I usually end up running across my stamp room thinking I've got absolutely everything. But I'm telling you, when I craft, you should see. Yesterday, Shirley came to help me prep for tonight's card class. Really excited about tonight's Grateful Autumn card class. She came to help me prep. She cleaned up the room. The table's all set to go. It looks like a hurricane went through, and all I did was craft this afternoon. Okay, so let me show you what we're going to do. And I'm even going to show you a little tip and trick that I just figured out for something. Okay, so this is the Celebrate Tags die that we are going to use. It automatically makes this score line in the middle, and it punches out these two holes so you can thread your ribbon through. Nice ruffled edge, a little embossed. You can see that here. Right here, you can see this nice scalloped edge, and it's all embossed. And I stamped the to from inside. Okay, so what you need is a piece of cardstock, any piece of cardstock. Let me put this off to the side for a second. I have an 8.5 by 3 1/4 inch piece of cardstock, and we are going to score it at 2.5 inches. Just a hint, if you are going across the paper, it's portrait, so it's the long way up. You're going across the paper. You're going to be able to get 3 of these wine tags out of one sheet of paper. So good way. If you do it the 11-inch way, you're going to end up with more waste. So don't do that. So 8.5 by 3 1/4 inches. The 3 1/4 inches gives us a piece room, a 1/4 inch to give to add this designer paper. 5 3/4 inches by 3 inches. My advice would be to make sure that you do not have a directional one. I'm just thinking, oh yes, I do have it here. Okay, so first our cardstock. What we're going to do first, so 8.5 by 3 1/4, and we're going to score it at 2 1/4 inches. Now, like I was saying, if you wanted to, you could do this all on the paper cutter. You could cut it on the paper cutter, and then you could score it with the score blade. I happen to be a big fan of my score tool. So we're going to score it at 2.5 inches. So every line here is 1/8 of an inch. The slightly taller ones on each side are a 1/4 inch, and then that, of course, is the 1/2 inch. So we're going to score it at 2.5 inches. That's all you need your scoreboard for. You can put it away. Next, we are going to take our trio tag punch, and I'm pretty sure Oh, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure this is in the annual catalog. You will have to look and see if this is in the annual catalog. If it is, I'm pretty sure this is 10% off right now. And this is a great, great punch. So it gives you a nice decorative edge. You could punch off this side, and this side would give you almost like a tag idea. Each side has its own way that you can square up your cardstock, and that's the whole point. Make sure that you're squared up in the corner. And then of course this is your little slip punch, and you could do ribbon through that as well. Then you'd probably put it in like this, center it between the two sides, and punch. We're going to use the decorative punch, and we are going to do all 4 sides. Now this punch is so super easy. A lot of punches, when you're punching, you might hold. This one you are actually going to leave on your table surface. So let's do that. It's squared in. I've got it square on this side. I've got it squared here. And then you just punch and you move. You punch and you move. Do I sound like an aerobics instructor? You punch and you move. You punch and you move. So that's that. So that's our edges there. And now we have our designer paper. Like I said, this is 5 3/4 inches by 3 inches. So you would get probably 6 out of 1 sheet of designer paper, because if you say, no, 8, let's see, 3 inches, you'd get 4 across, and you'd get 2 out of each sheet. So I'm going to kind of pay attention to the pattern, and luckily this one does not have a pattern that I have to say, this is top, this is bottom. I think this actually might be, but let's see, doesn't matter. You're only going to punch the 2 bottom corners, and it doesn't take a lot to punch. I actually think it takes more than it does. There we go. And I've got my neat little pile of scraps, and we're going to put that out of the way. What we are going to do next, I think what we're going to do next actually is bring our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I brought my big one over this time, and because I was thinking I need a big one, but I don't. I could have used the mini, but since I'm all set with the big one, we're going to do that now. Okay, stay with me here. What we are going to do is cut the circle. And this circle is actually one of the tags that is part of the Celebrate Tags stamp set. And it's a perfect size for the wine bottle. Now what I did, let me bring this in for a second, to make sure, you could also do it with any of your layering circles or your stylish shapes dies. I just put this over and said, oh, it's a perfect fit. So that's good. And then I'm going to show you something else neat that I found out. So let me move this out of the way first for just a second and bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. For ease of repeating this over and over again, I'm going to just call this the Big Boss, okay? So I have here my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the Big Boss. I have the bottom surface. I have the next, this little platform. It says right here, it's not a cutting surface. So you know you are going to either use that with embossing or you're going to use it with a plate on top. So I have my already beat up plate, and believe it or not, this plate was new yesterday. Okay, so let me bring in my thing. What I'm going to do is put this right here, and I'm going to center it between the score line and the top, left and right. So let me do that real quick. It's dark on this side of the light with this kind of blocking me, but that's okay. You'll see what I'm going to do. Somebody said if you get all kinds, this was actually Shirley, my team member, said if you get all kinds of pieces of paper cut in here, you could boil it and it'll lift that right out. She was going to do that for one of my older things today. So, okay, so that's all we're going to do right now. And then I wanted to show you, let me put this out of the way for a second. We're going to bring the boss back in a minute because I'm going to show you something else. But let me get it out of the way. Reminded me that I had not gotten my piece of glimmer paper. This is one of the pieces of glimmer paper that's in the red and white glimmer paper pack. Boy, is that a fantastic pack. And not surprisingly, it's back ordered right now. But keep your eyes on the prize. and it will come back into stock. I will let you know if you want me to. Just let me say, I want to know. Okay, I'm going to do this when I do my, when I cut my wreath, because you see what we're doing here. We're going to emboss. There's so much to this, but this was so fun. And I'm even going to show you a little trick that of something I learned today, just by accident, kind of. Okay, so let's put this out off to the side for a second, and we'll emboss, and we're going to cut this white glimmer paper in just a minute. And the reason I want to cut that white glimmer paper is because I made a nice little scalloped edge around that. And in case you did not know, I don't know if you have it, what is it called? Give It a Whirl dies? Something about whirl. It's in the annual catalog. If you wanted to make one of those spinner cards where you could, or a, was like a the viewfinder where you click it and it moves into the view, you would use the Give It a Whirl dies for that. This is one of the dies in there, and it just happened to be the perfect size for my scallop circle. So as soon as I bring my boss back in here, we will cut that. So let's put this off to the side for a second. Just a second. And what we're going to do next is stamp our wreath. So we've got our wreath here. I stamped this on a piece of basic black cardstock. Let's see if I remember to bring that in. So far we've cut this, we've scored our line at 2.5 inches. And if you are on my mailing list, you'll get all the supplies for this, and it will also take you to my DPWS so you can see exactly how to make this. Okay, let's see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the designer paper next. Now remember I said 5 3/4 by 3 inches, and I'm going to put the decorative edge down. I don't know if I'm in the camera. I'm kind of thinking I'm not, but this is the back of the paper. Very pretty, but I love the black and white. Isn't that so elegant? Now most of that harvest paper has, well, I always have a pin nearby in case I need it. This could also be empty, or I could just switch to a different glue. So let's do that. More glue than I needed, but there we go. At least it's coming out. Okay, center that left and right, top and bottom, and the top score line. There you go for that. Okay, so next what I did was I cut my tag. And I already cut this. So this is one of the tags. I actually cut it out of thick white cardstock rather than the regular basic white cardstock, because this is just like a regular card. You're going to open it and close it, so it might get a little bit more wear. Might be nice to have a sturdier card. So that's what I did. I did it out of thick basic white cardstock. And you need a piece that is at least 6 inches across. So your regular, it has to be 6 inches across. This is just a tad too small, too large for the 5.5. So, and by 2.5 inches. So that's our cardstock already cut, die cut. Let's set that aside for a second. Let me bring in, if I can find it, I bet I didn't bring in my basic black. Okay, let me grab a piece of basic black cardstock because I don't seem to have put it here. That's crazy because I was sure I had it. Okay, stick with me for 1 second. Let me grab a piece of black scrap. I'm going to break my neck over here with everything I laid on the floor. Okay, I actually had this right here on the other side of the room, just never quite made it here. Okay, this is where I want to show you a really, really, really cool trick. So I was trying to figure out how to line up this die, and obviously there's a left and a right, so we kind of want to know how to do it. It looks like there's an arrow here. If I wanted to do that, I chose to do this the long side. Now let me tell you what I did. I know that when I lay this on the stamp, this would go on here like this. And I was able to find out exactly. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, I'm going to show you, and hopefully this isn't going to bomb on me. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to lay the stamp here Let's just lay the stamp right there. And then I am going to look, and obviously it's going to go, I've got my long circle this way. It's not a perfect circle, so I can kind of already see where I'm going to, okay, this is how I wanted to do it. Okay, like this. I've got my long circle like this. I had it all figured out before, guys. Of course I did. So I can see. Okay, there we go. So I've got this lined up here. No, I don't have it lined up. Look for those 2 leaves, and then you look for the leaves over here. That's perfect. Okay, so we've got that there. What I'm going to do is lay this on my stamp like this. So I've already kind of I fiddled with it so that it filled in the spaces. Before, who knows? I did it perfectly before. I don't know why it's not working this time. But anyway, it's easiest if you lay this over top, figure out exactly so that I know that I'm going to go horizontal with these lines, and I'll be pretty close to figuring out how I'm going to do this. Okay, do you guys have next the new embossing toolkit that is in the mini catalog? What a great thing. I'm sure it's going to carry over to the new catalog, although I don't remember seeing it. I can't imagine it wouldn't, because everybody needs this toolkit. So I have here my embossing buddy. It's full of cornstarch, and I'm just going to rub my surface there. What I'm going to do next is ink up my wreath stamp. So I got my Versamark ink. I want to make sure it's good and inked up. And then what I'm going to do is flip that over and stamp. Because I want to make sure I cover all of these surfaces, and this is, even though it is a distinctive stamp, there is detail in this, and it's almost like a solid stamp, so I want to make sure it's going to fully get the powder on it, the embossing powder. So I like to rub my fingers over the bottom like that, and up we go. This is the coolest part, absolutely the coolest part. What I'm going to do is take my white embossing powder and my paper, and I'm just going to sprinkle this over here. Just like that. Try not to make a mess like I did. There we go. And if you've got your powder on the edges where obviously my fingers picked up, the oils of my fingers picked that up, you take the brush that is included in the kit and you just brush that away. It doesn't really matter for me because I'm going to be die cutting this and pulling it out, but okay, let's put that aside for just a second. Hopefully that doesn't flip on the floor because that will be a mess. I will pour it back into my container off camera. Okay, so I've embossed this. Oh, no, I haven't. I'm going to emboss this right now. I've got my heat tool. Pretend that this is Stampin' Up! Because for the, I cannot figure out where my Stampin' Up! Heat tool is. I think I left it at one of the retreats and I just can't, who knows? Anyway, so we're going to emboss this. The best way to do that is to pick up your cardstock with your ceramic tweezers that are included in the embossing kit. And we're going to just emboss this. I like to do this close. I hold it kind of close until I start to see it change. And you can see, I think you can start to see, there's a part that's whiter. So it's starting to change. So you just keep looking for that magic change. Keep moving your heat tool. You don't want to burn it, but you keep moving it until that magic, look at that. Isn't that so cool? Don't you just love how it just comes to life? I mean, look at this side. It's all dull. So we're going to emboss some more, melting it, melting it, melting it, melting it. And there we go. I do want to do one more thing, and I think I will have enough room on this scrap too. I had more room on my other one, but let's try. I'm again going to, I kind of want this to cool a little bit because I wouldn't put this right through your boss machine right now because the that embossing powder is still hot and kind of melty, and it'll stick to your plate. Ask me how I know. Just learn from my mistakes, don't do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is take a stamp, and where did I put that stamp? I might not have brought it with me, let's see. I wanted to do the Grateful. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm going to stamp Grateful, again in Versamark, kind of up here in the corner. And I don't need a lot of room because I'm going to kind of cut it in a nice narrow tag. Okay, I think I forgot to use the embossing buddy there. So we are going to hope for the best. I'm going to just use this right there, since it's right here. Okay, there we go. There's going to be a lot of white sprinkle around that. If you can get rid of that and not include that when you're heat embossing, that's a good thing. Okay, so let me get my heat tool and let's just emboss this Grateful real quick. I was just making sure. It almost looked like one was not quite as white glossy as the others, but I think it was. I think it just didn't get as much ink. Okay, so we're going to cool that off. Let's just cool that off so that it's not going to get all melty in our boss. Okay, so let's bring that in, and we are going to die cut first the wreath, and hopefully I did it just right. It looks like that's about perfect, that I'm going to be able to just stick that in there and hopefully not cut off my Grateful that I stamped in the corner, but unfortunately that's where it had to go. Here, I'll just move that down a little bit. Okay, let me bring in the boss. I need a nice helper here next to me, just handing me stuff so that it looks like I'm professional and not as disorganized as I tend to be when I have only a little bit of room. So I'm going to, again, like I said, put this through the boss. If you want to make sure that it's not going to move, I'll use my piece of cardstock here that I used for my directions. And I love, not cardstock, I love Post-its. I actually had stock in 3M, and I think I lost it all because they decided to go to charge for me to have the stock. So anyway, okay, let me grab my plate. We're first going to die cut the wreath, and this is so simple, guys. You know, I'm going to be done in just a second. I'm taking some time to explain it. It doesn't take that long to do it. Okay, so let's pull this out, and there's my wreath. Okay, now while I've got this, the boss here, I'm going to, once again, like I said, I wanted to die cut this little scallop circle. This is from the Give It a Whirl dies, like I said before. You don't have to do that. You can use one of your layering circles if you wanted. I just happened to notice that this was just perfect, absolutely perfect, so I decided to use it. And then what I would do, because I don't waste anything, the circle pops out of here, and I'm going to save this for another project. So there we go here, and I'm pretty sure we're done with the boss. Let's move him out of the way. I actually probably should have said her. Let's move Betsy the boss out of the way. Not that I know any Betsy's, but that just is the first name that popped in my mind. Okay, so let's put this tag together. Real quick and simple. What we're going to do is first, you know what I just realized? Where did I put that black piece of cardstock that I was going to cut? Oh, can't take me anywhere, guys. I probably left it. Okay, found it. So all I'm going to do is take my paper snips and just cut this really narrow. And I really didn't give myself enough room. So we'll just pretend I did. And I'm just going to cut on both sides of that, just like that. There we go. Get rid of your scraps. Okay, so first, I think we're done stamping. Let's get our glue. This is the one I used. And I'm going to tell you when I show you the next projects, and I'm so excited about the next projects because they're really, really, really pretty. But I just love black and white. It's so classic. And like I said, this is such a great hostess gift. Maybe you don't want to do wine. Maybe you want to do champagne and you're bringing it to somebody who's celebrating retiring or moving to a new job. You can bring me champagne anytime, guys. Love champagne. Okay. I've got my black and white. I've got my white tag that I've already die cut. Let me put this out of the way. And then I'm going to show you what I did with the tag. And I don't know if it's going to work on this one with this Wink of Stella because I did this on the other side of the room. But I wanted some shine, so I just kind of took my Wink of Stella and I'm just kind of going over the surface just so it has some shine. And you don't have to be picky. Okay. I could have used white shimmer paper, but what I noticed is that white shimmer paper is not as white as basic white cardstock. So, okay, we've got that. What we're going to do next is glue on our wreath. I'm going to stay close to the inside because some of this is actually going to overlap the edges, and I want to be able to open up this little card, right, guys? Okay, so let's go like this. Perfect. And now I've got my grateful here, and I'm just going to take a couple of mini dimensionals that I have right here. I really wish I didn't take this little nick out of there, but what can I do? It's there, and I'm pretty sure that anybody would be looking more at the beautiful tag than noticing my grateful that has a nick out of it. We'll just put it right there and nobody will be the wiser. There we go. No, it does have to. There we go. What I'm going to do next, before I actually tie the ribbon, is just stamp the to from. I'm just going to use black memento because it's nice and easy. I've already put this on the stamp. I wouldn't put it so that you're writing your name next to it. I do it so you're writing your name below it. So it's stamped more towards the top of the card here. Perfect. And just to let you guys know, even though I say it's perfect, not everything that I do is perfect. There are a lot of scraps of things that I throw away before you guys see the final project. Let me tell you. Okay, next what I'm going to do, if I brought it with me, is I'm going to tie my black and white ribbon before I attach it. I had a whole bunch of scraps of black and white ribbon. This is the black and white gingham ribbon. Love this ribbon. I don't think ribbon is on sale this week, unfortunately, but there are a lot of other things. Designer paper is on sale as long as it's not specialty or part of a stack. For instance, you couldn't get like the Regals or the In Color for, even though they're not specialty, you couldn't get them for a discounted price, I'm pretty sure. But you could certainly get, everybody loves the, oh, I can't even think of any of them right now while I'm, first of all, tying my bow, and second of all, on camera. It'll all come back to me. But any of the non-specialty papers you can purchase and get a discount on right now. That sale goes until tomorrow night, and I'll put the host code in my links when I'm done. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is just put this on the card. I'll just glue this directly onto the back. Just like that, right here. And voila, we have our wine tag ready to go. So look at this. So this is my wine tag. Isn't that beautiful? Unfortunately, this is a beautiful bottle of wine. So maybe I would do it this way towards the back, cover up the back label so you can see this beautiful front as well. Anyway, so that's my wine tag that we made on camera. Let me show you a couple of the other ones. So we've got both of these. This used the Cottage Wreaths bundle, remember? The Celebrate Tags bundle. I used the Give It a Whirl die just for the scallop around the edge, just because I thought it added a little something. let's see. Now, let me show you my really cute one. This is the Gnomes. I used the Gnomes designer paper. And like I said, if you're going to cut this designer paper, 5 3/4 by 3 inches, make sure that you're paying attention to the direction and you're first of all, cutting it with the 3 inches on the narrow side. And you're taking your notches, your decorative notch with your trio punch out of the bottom. I had some of these little guys laying around, so I just put it together. And of course I used our In Color ribbon, which I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not a big fan of this ribbon because I find it a little bit slippery. But what I have noticed and what I like to do is take a little glue dot and put that behind. Let me use my Take Your Pick tool. I like to put a little glue dot behind it, and then it's going to stay put and not untie on me. So there we go, just like that. Now it's not going anywhere. So pool party ribbon that, like I said, 3 1/4 by 8 1/2 inches. I did my little Warm Wishes, which is one of the stamps in the Kindest Gnome set. Let me tell you a little secret, guys. I feel like I can tell you little secrets and you're not going to give away my secret. The Gnome Christmas stamp that is in the mini catalog is going away, but the dies are staying because there's such a fabulous stamp set in the new mini catalog that you guys are going to get in January. So fabulous. So anyway, so get the gnomes while you can because you're going to want to keep the Christmas guys. They're really adorable. And then you can get your spring gnomes for your spring decorating. I have a neighbor up the street. It was her birthday last week. I missed it. I will be giving this, even though this is says Warm Wishes. Wishes are always warm when you're sending them. Birthday wishes, Christmas wishes, whatever. So this is going to go on a bottle of wine for her. So that's that. And now look at this is for the avid crafter. I definitely did a lot more on this. Can't get this is probably one where I would also want to use a glue dot so it doesn't come undone. This is the Boughs of Holly paper. This is in the mini catalog. Unfortunately, that's not on sale. I used my Shaded Spruce designer paper in Real Red, and that's what I did instead of the black and white here, like that. So I've got my Boughs of Holly paper, and then I still did this tag, and I really bumped it up, stepped it up a little bit. I cut out one of the poinsettias from the designer paper, and even though this is the edge of the paper, and normally I would throw it away because I couldn't use it for a fussy cut, and you would have to fussy cut this, by the way. I lined it up right on the edge. I saw somebody do this at Onstage. I'm like, oh my goodness, I always get rid of them if they're on the edge and they're only partial. You know what they did? They put it on the inside of the card right here at the very edge, and it looks like it belongs there. So it would be nice if I had a full poinsettia, but I wanted to show you that before I left. So I've die cut some of my holly leaf out of Shaded Spruce and Garden Green, cut some of these little gold critters out of the Forever Fern dies. That's in the annual catalog. So this would be on sale right now, the Forever Fern. And I believe if it's not a bundle, don't make it a bundle because the stamps and the dies, one of them is 15% off. You'd get more if you don't buy it as a bundle. So separate out your bundle if it's in the annual catalog, and you'll save more money. And then of course this is also from the Boughs of Holly, a little sprig of greenery. This is from the Charming Sentiments. This is in the annual catalog, so you could get this on sale. It has matching dies, and it does a really good job of die cutting right around your edges. So here we have for our avid stamper, and of course our beautiful gold ribbon. Isn't that so pretty? It looks like I'm ready to go to a Christmas party. And I would not at all be embarrassed to bring this at all as a hostess gift. I have a feeling I'd get all the oohs and ahs. So let me flip back up. So glad to see you guys. I want to say goodbye formally. I have class tonight in a little while. If you can make it, if you live in the Linfield area, come here 7 o'clock tonight in my lamp studio. Or you can, and I have the Facebook link right on the page. I have enough for 7 tonight. So, and I think I only have 4 people so far coming. So RSVP. Or you can come tomorrow at noon. And the reason is for noon is I go to work tonight at 11 at the hospital. So I'll stay up all night, sleep a little bit, and get ready to go and have a great class again tomorrow. Thanks for joining me, guys. I will see you soon. I had a great time. I'm going to respond to all of your comments. Make sure you like my video, share it if you'd like, and I will see you here next week, but not Thursday. Nobody's going to be watching my Facebook Live on Thanksgiving, so let's make it another day. Maybe Friday, maybe Wednesday. I'll surprise you. Have a great night, guys. Happy stamping. Bye.